Hi everyone. We are heading back into the world of his story. This one is His Story 3 Trapped. Just to say it out now, I have seen this. It probably, at least 95% of people who've watched this, favorite in the His Story series. So this is a rewatch, so you don't have to skirt around trying to spoil anything. I've seen it all. I've seen this, I think, twice before already now, and it still stands up when I first watched it to now, so you could talk about all the episodes if you want to. This is just a fun rewatch for us to go back over the story of Xiaofei and Tang Yi, and of course, the other favourite side couple in this. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and just talk about the episode. Episode 1 and 2, technically. Together. Just lighten a lighter.
姓唐的，我四合会的地盘，让你这样一再。
Oh yeah, because he's having that kind of gangster meeting, isn't he?
应该要有所觉悟。
And he just does not care. He's like, oh, I'm not afraid of you. There's really nice use of camera work here right now because we don't get to see his face yet, so he's just a mystery. And then look, he does something quite bold. Even though we still don't get to see his face. And it's a nice reveal when we get to see it. I guess it's because you're not expecting him to be so young at first. Okay, people should have started shooting right in that moment, right? There's his future man. It's somewhere. I have to say, I actually liked his haircut in this. It made him more adorable. I mean, they're gangs, they're not going to grass on one another. There's a code. Are you allowed to pull a gun on him? You can't, he's not resisting arrest because you haven't caught him for anything. Yeah. Need to turn this up, I can't hear him. He didn't let go what happened 4 years ago. He doesn't believe you, clearly. Oh wow, the incompetence. You have to have a search warrant. You can't just go in guns blazing. Why are you giving him a look? The dynamics as well are so well done. Like, she's watching him. What I would like to know, is this an accurate representation of a police station in Taiwan? Because clearly it's so different, but it feels so crowded. You wouldn't think it was a police station, you would think it was just office day work, but clearly it's not because they're in a police station. It's just inside feels very different. It doesn't feel like how it in the UK how it is for police stations. They're not particularly comforting, friendly at all. Whereas this feels way more relaxed. But I don't know if it's also just supposed to be a small police station. So that's kind of why they have it like this. Well, he's made some achievements. Yeah, I want to hear them argue. Don't forget, he's crooked. He doesn't care. Okay. He's so cute.
老大，这些4年前资料我看过很多次了。
看过很多次，那你有没有看到重点？他在当年的笔录里面说的清清楚楚，不知道就是不知道嘛。
老大，当年丽珍姐、活动还有唐毅3个人倒在事发现场，只有唐毅一个人活下来，他怎么可能什么都不知道？
就是因为只有他一个人活下来，所以他说了算嘛。你以为
That's not how it works. This detective is so bad at what at his job.
被枪杀的一个是警察，另外一个是新天王的老大。所有的社会媒体上层都在等着我们破案。
And you couldn't break it. I wonder why.
他的说辞就是根本都没有破绽啊！
不是没有破绽，是我们证据还不够。
Again, this is a rewatch. We know exactly what happens. It's interesting he said there's no gaps, when later on, I have to say, there's a major gap that would have been extremely easy for them to figure out who did it. It's clear when we find out what happens at the end why they weren't able to figure it out a lot sooner. But you, as an audience, sit back and go, well, actually, there was glaring gaps, huge amounts of gaps. And how no one pieced them together is always interested in this.
国际刑警科人要来把 Jack 带走了。
啊？
They're not from Interpol.
哎，你凭什么把人带走？
哦，是这样啦，我资料刚刚给你们同仁看过了，是没有问题。他必须跟我
How
们
legitimate is this paperwork?
调查什么？
这我就不方便透露，不好意思啊，借过一下。
Right, the fakeness of it. You'd only take Jack away.
阿飞，
And then goes and stalks him like this. This the thing is, probably doesn't realize that he knows all his moves, but it's become more of an obsession. But a bit more than that, there's clearly an attraction.
城商酒店、
礼拜六晚上，
雅致俱乐部、
You know a bit too much about
那
him.
天中午嘞，
关都庄园。
你都知道哎。那可是唐毅现在行踪怎么那么好掌握啊？
以前行踪是很难掌握啦，不过从这一年开始，他行程突然都变得很确定，我也觉得蛮奇怪的，所以才觉得。
Yeah, he's just yeah. Come in, you can literally see you through the window.
哎，少飞，你干嘛啦？
他老板叫我们进去的，那就走啊。
Have you seen how much it costs?
个十百千万，只要6万呢。
这么贵？
我送你吧。
Oh, is that it? Less than $2 grand for a suit. That's quite
不需要。
cheap in dollars.
那我也有一件吗？
Do I get one too? Why not?
给他折扣，如果他买得起的话。
Afford it.
不用。
See, in this moment, I feel like
好了，晚点就回去。
he's not just curious where he's going. There's a bit of jealousy. 'Cause he's talking to someone. Yeah, look,
好帅，
so gentle. See?
穿的什么？都几岁了？
反正我也买不起。
So clearly don't make a lot of money then as police officers.
我们不要再当警察，我们跑去跟唐毅混怎么样？
What? Go and work for
我们
him?
两个明天就
So just be in a gang.
查案，你觉得怎么样，老大？
哎，你不要冲动啊！我刚刚是开玩笑的。
看你还敢不敢
No, he's not. He would do it. He's having a go at him. He would do that.
哎，你说你追唐毅追那么久，要是不认识你人，还以为你
He
暗
does.
恋你的头，他是黑道，我是警察。哎，
And you can have a crush on him.
说那么满，老天最爱打人脸。
我说不可能就不可能。
不可能，不可能！你会手绘唐毅的通气单，连身高都标得清清楚楚，还贴在一进门一定会经过的地方。
It's true.
我
He's
贴在
caught you
那里
out.
是因为我要提醒自己，鞭策自己，我要找到。
You like looking at him.
对。
The obligatory shirtless moment. This also gets a sense that he's kind of just living for the moment. He's not actually happy in what he does.
从我们把王坤城手上的几个要头处理掉之后，他最近就低调很多，大多时间都躲在他俱乐部里。
But why such a low profile? She is another really interesting character. I'm not particularly enamored by her the whole way through in her story, but it's still a good story.
实在太让我伤心了。
I'm sure it does.
你说，你把我当什么？
An annoying little sister.
小妹妹，
我都长大了，你的小妹妹。我是担心你，
Yeah.
我问你，为什么你那么针对柬埔寨那条线？
Oh, there's a reason. There's always a reason. He doesn't want you to know he wants you safe.
针对谁？还是跟4年前那件事有关？
你想太多了。如果我知道谁杀了唐爷，我怎么可能放过他？
They're always fighting. Shouldn't you have done a better job there? You're supposed to be trained.
现在只剩你跟我了，只有到5楼的时间。
Oh, you want to bet? Oh, that's how they. They're over there. That wouldn't work over here.
有何指教，孟警官？上次在你店里，你坚持要给我西装打折，我想说
Do you
那
want
就
to
礼尚往
help
来一下。
him return the
这个长
favor?
得跟你很像的哦，但是我就是感觉
You're very close. I mean, really close.
我看得出来你现在被我说中，心里很慌。你的耳朵红了。
It's not turning red because he's turned on. That's the point. That's why they're red.
你想干嘛？你不要乱来啊！我不吃你这一套。
You sure about
你
that?
还不够格让我想乱来。
The music shift. I really like the use of the cameras here. It doesn't feel like I can't explain it. It feels lower budget, but really good. I can't explain it. It's just really well done. Look at these two with their kinks.
你在干嘛？唐毅，
开，不对，
Starting now.
你就给我转3天内勤，不准外出。
老大，这样我怎么办案啊？
我就是不要你再出去搞事，这是命令。
So while they're arguing, he has to follow him.
你给我盯着他写悔过书啊，没有超过2000字不要转。
Apology letter.
有我，
老大，
阿飞，太纠结在一个案子上并没有好处。
That is true. You
有时候
become
我们查不出
obsessed.
来，那只是因为时机未到。
I wonder how much it costs for them to book these rooms. You have so something like this when you're filming, and it's not a big budget. You can tell, even though it's I think fantastically done, but like stuff like this with the camera work, everything, and how small it is. I wonder how much it actually cost them to book these rooms, because I don't know if they filmed this all in one night, or they filmed this over consecutive days. I would imagine usually, because it's a night shoot, they would have all night to shoot it, which is quite tiring. But I also don't know how much it would have cost, because this looks like just someone's, like a little bar or someone's room that's got a bar in it. Clearly this person has money because it's on the skyline, but like things like this is curious in the industry. Over here in the UK, you would genuinely have to pay a set amount, and you would only get like, so if you have someone's residence, you pay them for the day, because it happens here a lot when they're filming police dramas. Where I live, they take people's houses over for the day and they cover the outside, all of this, but they pay them, plus they have to pay them to use their place of living. Just curious.
秦天盟早就跟以前不一样，我何必听别人说什么？
现在的年轻人啊，越来越狂妄。
Or he just doesn't want to be doing drugs. Wait for it. Someone was waiting to kill them.
你在干嘛？断什么断？
I mean, you acted, as usual, the kind of over top character, but it's done well.
奇怪，什么时候默契那么好？
哎，那个
快说。
王坤成死了，
然后呢？
昨天晚上
You're telling him everything.
大概9点多。
This is actually really good use of camera work
重
here.
点。
这件人是唐毅啦，
Why are you hugging him?
我就怕你冲动又去找唐毅啊。
Oh, right.
我去找唐毅干嘛了？
我刚讲的还不够清楚吗？昨天晚上唐毅去跟王坤成见面嘞。
然后呢？你们在现场找到什么东西
Right? He can
目前
think
是没有确切
logically.
证据，都是王坤城身边小弟的证词，但他们一口都咬定王坤城的死就是唐毅干的。
They would say that though. He's easy to frame. He did say he'd try and take them down. This is what I mean. He remembers everything about him.
是唐毅的啊。
不是，他怎么又追唐毅？阿飞，阿飞，阿飞！
哎，我叫你做内勤，你要给我跑哪去？
我
Right?
要去找唐毅。
But you can't. You've got 3 days of desk work.
老大，王坤城的死跟唐毅有关。
有关什么？你有证据吗？
有啊，我们找到袖扣就是唐毅的，他一定在现场。
阿飞，你不能一有什么蛛丝马迹
I
就往
thought you
唐毅身上
didn't
推。
believe he did it, and now all of a sudden you think it's him. But come on, you were doing so well a second ago.
你刚刚理智分析的结果明明不是这样子讲的啊！
但是那个袖扣的图案很特别，我看过他戴，我就现在想不清楚，所以要去问他啊。
我有事的。
唐毅，窦毅，
It's coming together for him.
有关王坤城命案的调查，现在先由我为各位做进度报告。根据现场的状况显示，俱乐部内并没有任何打斗的痕迹，因此我们合理推断
He was killed inside
王
of the
坤城是
car.
离开俱乐部后才遭受攻击。人证部分，当议提出了当天的不在场证明。那天他参加了一个晚宴，8点30分进入会场，一直到凌晨1点才离开。我们调阅了饭店监视器，确实看到唐毅进出饭店的画面。至于俱乐部周边的监视器，在案发前不久就遭人破坏。
There, they were damaged. There you go. There's a big clue
破
there.
坏了监视器，我们会扩大搜寻范围，以利找到新的证据。以上是我们侦三的进度报告，完毕。
But at least we get what you probably would get during a police report, like the way they're sad, the way they're spoken about, the evidence, everything. So this feels quite well done.
不过目前看起来好像并没有更明确的线索可以判断凶手是谁。这个部分还希望侦三队这里能够迅速提供。
In other words, you didn't do that well of a job.
接下来是我们国际刑警科的调查。王坤城的死讯一传出，我们就收到线报，柬埔寨
You
的大毒
received
枭陈
tips
文浩
straight
回来
away.
王坤城以及陈文浩
Remember him?
他们都曾经是刑天盟的成员之一，其中陈文浩入监服刑24年，但是在4年前呢，他
4
出
years ago
狱
he
了，
was let out. Remember that 4
逃
years?
往了
That's
东
always a
南
big
亚，
clue
从
there.
此行踪成谜。这一次他回来，我们相信
4年前出狱，
You're not stupid. You're very
都是
intelligent.
4年前被枪杀的，不会有什么关联吧？
那有没有陈文浩出现地点的情报啊？
目前我们并没有办法100%掌握他的动向，我们只能根据现有的情报加以分析。
Sorry, I'm just
这也
literally
是为什么我们
gross
希
in
望侦
this
三队
moment
能
of it.
够在这次的调查中全力的配合我们。
he does not want them to go through with the investigation.
到所有的情报，就帮我们抓配合。
石队长，这次行动会由我们国际刑警科全权负责，
Uh-oh.
麻烦真三与我们合作。你们最主要的任务是负责确认出没的情报是不是正确。
So literally, you don't want them to do much.
一旦发现
You want to take all the
情报
credit.
请立刻汇报。逮捕的事情会由我们国
Yeah,
际刑警科
if
来
it's
处
by
理。
Interpol, it means they get all the credit. You're just literally using them.
还真是完美的合作方式。
That's not a cooperation.
石队长，
没问题，当然没有问题。
So why ask them to help? What you want is them to do all the
在
legwork,
座
and
的
then
各
you
位
take
同仁都很辛苦，
and
只
then
要
take
能
all
够
the
顺利逮
credit.
到陈文浩，对你我
No,
双方
it's
都
a
是
good
好
thing
事。
for you.
不过，这次行动攸关是否能够阻止柬埔寨的毒品流入，非常重要。我希望你能管好你手下的人。
Oh, he looked at one person in particular. Yeah. I mean, I get why they're annoyed by him.
打乱了国际刑警的计划。
不是我们上。
He's just so desperate to technically avenge her. When you lose someone so important to you, you try anyway to find out what happened. See the little clue that they were close right at the end there. It's always nice to go back to this show. I do like how it's set up. We have the meeting between two gangs, or the leaders of two gangs, should we say. And we don't know the actual reason behind it. It just seems like maybe a drug deal that we think is coming on, but clearly it's not. And then we have Xiaofei come into it, without the warrant. We understand he's quite reckless. I wouldn't say these two episodes are the meat of what's to come. This is just a nice little setup. They give us little clues on why he wants to solve what happened 4 years ago. But it also gives a little insight that Tang Yi and Xiaofei have quite an obsession with one another. They show it in different ways. Tang Yi is very stoic, but he knows every movement Xiaofei makes. And their personalities, though very different, they work very well together. And I like how people tease Xiaofei by making this assumption that he's attracted to Tang Yi. He is, we can see it. But they like to, in these moments, try and get one up on one another. It's like a game for both of them. It's like a dance. We only get we get some nice little character development. We get small snippets of what the other characters are like. But in this moment, it's very clearly supposed to be a two-character heavy episode. But we'll see in that Interpol will take all the credit. That's clearly why they want Unit 3 to do all the legwork, more or less, but get no praise for it. Xiaofei is a problem, but he can be logical. He can be. But once he gets, what we say, a bee in his bonnet, so when he can't let go of something, he can become a bit reckless. I like that they showed a little bit of the fight choreography, and it shows that Xiaofei is proficient, he's trained. We've got a little bit of the mystery. We now need to know why that person was killed in the car, because we heard it was used with a silencer. And then you have to figure out the times, and the cameras were damaged, but it clearly was a frame up. They were trying to frame Tang Yi. That was the whole point, because it would be easier to frame him, because as we find out throughout the episodes, because these are two episodes put into one, that he's trying to make his business legitimate. He's not trying to do the drug trade. He's trying to get rid of their association with other gang groups. And he's been doing this now for the last 4 years, or probably after he came out of hospital after being shot. He doesn't want to be in that business, but he's good at not showing emotions. The only person we see him truly get him to emote is Xiaofei. But, he does that for a specific reason. And then we have the police group as a dynamic. There's a little friendship group within them. And then, of course, there's a friendship group with Xiaofei and Chaoxi. And, that's kind of cute. And it's a little bit slapstick. But they have a good friendship. They kind of work well together, the actors, to do a bit of comedy. And really nice use of camera work when it's those two as well. But Chaoxi is the kind of comedic moment in the show. There's always that one character, and Chaoxi is that character. He is the kind of over the top character, but it's done in such a cute way, and his character he does it in such a well acted and adorable way that you can't help but wonder how these police officers get anything done. And then obviously with the captain, there's clearly something there, because why would you keep trying to disrupt what Xiaofei is doing even when he has evidence? I'm not saying he had evidence in this episode, but it's clear that he must have had evidence around at different points. Thank you for watching, and I will be back soon with episodes 3 and 4.